The story begins with a young boy named John, who has a very special power. He can talk to animals. One day, John is having a conversation with his dog. Curious, he asks why dogs sniff each other when they meet. The dog replies that sniffing is their way of greeting, just like humans shaking hands. While John is talking to his dog, his father Archer steps outside and sees everything. But Archer ignores it, thinking his son is just being childish. The next day, Archer is taking John out when they run into John's school principal. The principal reaches out to shake John's hand, but instead, John walks behind him and starts sniffing his butt. This completely embarrasses Archer, and he immediately takes John back home. Archer is very superstitious, so he believes John is possessed by an evil spirit. He calls a priest to perform an exorcism. The priest starts shaking John violently, trying to remove the spirit. John gets terrified and starts screaming. Seeing this, John's dog attacks the priest and chases him away. Now Archer becomes furious with the dog. He believes John learned all these bad habits from it, so he locks the dog away in a doghouse. After this, the story jumps forward by several years. John has now grown up to become a successful doctor. He has a wife named Lisa and 2 daughters, Charisse and Maya. Maya, just like her father, loves animals deeply. She has a guinea pig and a large egg, and she is eagerly waiting for the egg to hatch. We then learn that ever since John was separated from his dog as a child, he lost his special powers. Over time, he even developed a hatred toward animals. Now, John doesn't like animals at all. That day, John goes to his hospital, where he meets his partners, Dr. Mark and Dr. Jin. Mark wants to sell the hospital to a big company, and is trying to convince John and Jin, since all 3 are partners. John actually likes the idea, because working under a large company would mean better salaries and advanced medical equipment. However, Jin strongly disagrees, though Mark keeps pressuring him anyway. The next day, while John is at home, Maya's guinea pig goes missing. Since Maya has to leave for camp, John takes responsibility for finding the guinea pig and taking care of the egg. Lisa takes Maya and Charisse to stay with Archer. That same night, John gets called to the hospital for a patient. But when he arrives, he gets angry at his junior doctor. It wasn't even a real emergency. After scolding him, John drives back home. Suddenly, a dog appears in front of his car. John swerves to avoid hitting it, and his car jumps onto the sidewalk. The dog then speaks, telling John to drive more carefully. John is shocked, but because he's extremely tired, he convinces himself it was just his imagination and ignores it. The next day, John goes to a restaurant with his fellow doctors to meet representatives from a big medical company. They are all sitting and discussing business when suddenly 2 squirrels start fighting over food nearby. John can clearly hear them talking. This shocks him badly, and out of fear, he panics and runs out of the restaurant. Back at home, John places Maya's guinea pig inside his car and starts driving toward the camp. But on the way, the guinea pig suddenly starts talking. John understands every word and he freezes in shock. The guinea pig also realizes that John can hear him, so he keeps talking non-stop. John gets terrified, pulls the car over, and leaves the guinea pig there as he drives away. But then John remembers Maya. Feeling guilty, he turns back, takes the guinea pig with him again, but this time, he ties the cage to the roof of the car. The guinea pig, being very talkative, keeps complaining the entire time. John is completely scared now, and tries his best to ignore the animal's voice. Soon, he reaches the camp where his father Archer and the rest of the family are already waiting. That night, John is in his room with his wife. When she steps away to change clothes, John hears a sound from the window. An owl appears and asks him for help. There's a thorn stuck in its wing. John carefully removes the thorn, still confused about how he can understand animals again. The owl tells him that all the animals in the forest now know about his special ability. Just then, Lisa walks in, and John quickly takes her back inside. But John is extremely confused and steps out of his room again. Outside, he finds many animals waiting for him. They have all come to meet him. Terrified, John decides to get himself checked and rushes to see his friend, Dr. Sam. Even though it's already 1 a.m., Sam agrees to examine him. Outside Sam's clinic, John notices 2 rats fighting. As he watches, the rats start talking to him too. Sam arrives and checks John thoroughly, including his brain, but everything is normal. John tells Sam that he can hear animals talking. However, Sam says it's probably stress and work pressure, and refuses to believe that animals can speak. Thanking Sam, John leaves the clinic. While driving home, John notices an animal control truck on the road. Inside the truck is the same dog that had appeared in front of his car earlier. Recognizing him, John follows the truck. He reaches a pet shop filled with dogs. All the dogs beg John to buy them, but John is only interested in the one dog he recognizes. John buys that dog and brings him outside. His real intention is to free the dog, so he releases him outside the shop. Since John doesn't like animals, he tries to leave, but the dog is sick and collapses on the ground. Left with no choice, John takes him to a veterinary clinic for treatment. Later, as John is about to leave the dog again, Maya calls him and asks him to come to the camp. During the call, Maya hears the dog's voice and assumes her dad is bringing her a dog. She becomes extremely happy. For his daughter's happiness, John brings the dog to the camp camp and names him Lucky. Maya is overjoyed to see Lucky and no longer wants to stay at the camp. Maya wants to go home with everyone, but John tells her that Lucky will only stay at home if she completes the camp. Otherwise, he'll return the dog to the shop. Hearing this, Maya feels sad, but agrees to stay at the camp. John finally returns home with his family. Late at night, John is in his bedroom with his wife, when suddenly, the doorbell rings. When John opens the door, he's shocked to see several animals standing outside. They've come to him for medical treatment. John panics. He doesn't want his family to see animals inside the house, but the animals start roaming all over the home. With no other option, John gathers them in one place, listens to their problems, and begins treating them. Among the patients is a circus monkey who drinks too much alcohol. John warns him that his health problems are caused by drinking and tells him to quit alcohol completely. After treating all the animals, a horse asks John to come outside. The horse is blind, so John makes special glasses for him. Once the horse puts them on, he's overjoyed. He can finally see again. All the animals are extremely grateful, and John feels happy too. As John is heading back inside, the circus monkey stops him and tells him about a tiger from the circus. The tiger is suffering from a deadly illness and has climbed a building, planning to end his life. John immediately rushes there with his dog, Lucky, and tries to talk the tiger down. John tells the tiger that he doesn't yet know what illness he has, but he promises to do everything possible to cure him. Trusting John, the tiger agrees and returns to the circus. The next day, John researches the tiger's condition and visits him at the circus. He assures the tiger that he will soon find a cure. With no other hope left, the tiger believes him. On his way home, John sees the same two rats he had seen earlier. One of them is seriously ill and struggling to breathe. The other rat begs John to save his friend. John takes both rats to his hospital. Earlier, Mark had reminded John about an important meeting, but John completely forgot. At the same time, many animals sneak into John's house, terrifying Lisa. Lisa keeps calling John, but he doesn't answer. Worried, she rushes to the hospital. As soon as John arrives, he goes straight into the operating room. He removes the sick rat from a paper pouch and tries to save him. At that moment, Mark and Lisa enter the room and are shocked to see John treating rats. John explains that the rat is dying and needs help. The rat suddenly stops breathing. John prepares to give CPR. Everyone tries to stop him, but John refuses. Determined to save the rat's life, John gives him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Miraculously, the rat survives. It turns out the rat had severe gas trapped in his stomach, which caused the problem. Now the rat is completely fine. Everyone in the hospital stares at John in disbelief. They all start believing that John has lost his mind. The next day, Lisa takes John to a mental hospital. The doctor there is Dr. Blaine, John's old classmate. Blaine has always disliked John because John was always first in class, while Blaine was always last. Blaine tells Lisa that John should be admitted. John tries to explain that he can truly understand animals, but Lisa refuses to believe him. She admits John to the hospital for 10 days. Now John is locked inside the mental institution. People there believe he's insane. One night, Lucky goes to the circus. The tiger tells Lucky that trusting John was a huge mistake, and that he will now slowly die in pain. The tiger's condition is getting worse every day. Lucky rushes to the mental hospital and tells John that the circus tiger is dying and needs help immediately. Hearing this, John becomes furious. He yells at Lucky, blaming him for everything. John shouts that it all started because Lucky spoke to him first. Now everyone thinks he's crazy, and he's been separated from his family. In anger, John screams at Lucky and chases him away, then storms back into his room alone. The next day, John is taken to Dr. Blaine's office. John requests to be discharged, but Blaine refuses. That's when John calmly threatens Blaine. He says if Blaine discharges him, he won't tell anyone that Blaine secretly sleeps wearing women's clothes at night. In reality, Blaine's cat had told John everything. Now Blaine finally believes that John can truly talk to animals. Left with no choice, Blaine immediately discharges John from the hospital. John returns home and is overjoyed to reunite with his family. His daughter Maya is also back home. Lisa brought her back from camp because Maya wasn't fit to stay there. John is happy seeing everyone together again. Even now, animals try to talk to him, but John keeps ignoring them. The next day, John goes to his hospital and starts treating his patients normally. Everyone believes that John has fully recovered. Mark is especially happy because now he can finally sell the hospital. He schedules an important meeting with the company representatives. Meanwhile, Maya is showing her experiments to her grandfather, Archer. Seeing Maya so excited makes Archer happy. Just then, John arrives and tells Maya to get ready for the press conference. Maya wants to bring her guinea pig along, but John refuses and scolds her. Hearing this, Maya tells Archer that when she found out her dad could talk to animals, she felt proud. She wanted her father to be special, just like her, and to love animals the way she does. John hears this conversation from outside the room. Maya says she feels like her dad doesn't like her or her animals. She even says that if he starts loving animals, she'll stop doing her experiments. Archer gently tells Maya that she doesn't need to change herself for her father. Instead, her father needs to change for her. Hearing this, John becomes emotional. He finally realizes that he doesn't need to suppress who he really is, and that he must help animals again. Soon, they all head to the press conference at John's hospital, where the announcement to sell the hospital will be made. John drops his family outside. Before leaving, he tells Maya that her experiments are not foolish at all. He says they're wonderful, and that he loves her very much. Maya becomes extremely happy and tells him that in her eyes he's a hero. After this, John secretly goes to the circus. He frees the sick tiger from its cage and places him inside his car. A security guard spots John, but John manages to escape and drives straight to the hospital with the tiger. Meanwhile, Maya brings her guinea pig to the press conference but ends up losing him. Now she starts searching for her guinea pig everywhere. At the party, Mr. Calloway, the company representative, warns Mark that if John doesn't arrive within 10 minutes, the deal will be cancelled. Mark panics and lies, saying John got delayed while visiting kids at an orphanage, but that he'll arrive soon. At the same time, John brings the tiger into his lab and begins examining him. Dr. Jin, who never wanted to sell the hospital, feels upset. During the party, Mark mocks Jin, making him angry. Jin pushes Mark through a gate, causing Mark's nose to start bleeding. Jin takes Mark to the X-ray room. John is already in the X-ray room, preparing to scan the tiger. But as soon as Mark and Jin see the tiger inside the lab, they panic and run out in fear. After stepping outside, Mark tells Jin that John has completely lost his mind. But he adds that before doing anything, they must first get John's signature on the contract during the press conference. Once the deal is done, Mark plans to send John back to the mental hospital. That way they'll make a fortune from selling the hospital, and their path will be clear. Jin never wanted to sell the hospital. Hearing Mark's greedy plan makes him furious. He realizes that Mark is blinded by money. In anger, Jin punches Mark, knocking him unconscious. Jin rushes back to help John. By now, John has finally discovered what illness the tiger is suffering from and decides to operate immediately. But the operating room is right where the press conference party is happening. So John and Jin place the unconscious Mark on a stretcher. They hide the tiger underneath it, covering him with a cloth, and carefully move toward the operating room. As soon as they enter the party, Calloway grabs them and drags them toward the press in front of everyone. Now there's no one left to watch the tiger. Suddenly, the tiger spots Maya's guinea pig sitting on a bench. Instinctively, the tiger steps out from under the cloth, ready to hunt. Everyone is shocked. People scream and run in fear, but John bravely steps in front of the tiger and tells everyone the truth. The tiger is seriously ill, and it's his duty as a doctor to save his life. Without hesitation, John takes the tiger into the operating theater. Dr. Jin joins him, and together they begin the surgery. Outside the hospital, the police arrive after learning that John stole the tiger. But when they try to enter, they are stopped by dozens of animals blocking the entrance. Inside, everyone watches nervously from outside the operating room. At that moment, Archer tells Lisa the truth, that when John was a child, he mistook his God-given gift for an illness. Archer admits his mistake and says he finally understands. Hearing this, Lisa regains her faith in John and walks into the operating room to support him. The surgery is a success. The tiger is cured. Both humans and animals celebrate with joy. Soon, Mark and Calloway arrive. Calloway tells John that he has never seen a doctor like him and that he's ready to move forward with the deal, but John refuses. He says he will not sell the hospital. Calloway becomes furious, and Mark again calls John insane. At that very moment, pigeons sitting above them suddenly poop all over Mark and Calloway. Seeing this, John and Jin can't help but smile. Now everyone finally understands. John truly can talk to animals. From that day on, no one calls him crazy. John openly communicates with animals and treats them without fear or shame. A few days later, Maya's large egg finally hatches. To everyone's surprise, a baby crocodile comes out. John and his family are overjoyed. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More powerful stories are waiting for you.